Hey, good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. Several years ago, well, actually 20 years ago, I can't believe time goes by that fast, we did a survey at the turning of the century where we asked mostly Fortune 400 families what they consider to be their greatest danger, their greatest fear coming into the 21st century. I bet you can't guess what it is. Number one, loss of choice and control. Think about it, loss of choice, that freedom of choice. You know, in Strategic Coach, we talk about 4 freedoms. We have the freedom of money, first one is freedom of time, then freedom of money, then freedom of relationships, and then freedom of purpose. No particular order, of course, but those are the 4 freedoms. But without freedom of choice, we wouldn't have any of those 4. See, freedom of choice is right at the heart of it. And the relationship between decisions and choice is what makes it work. There isn't a one of you that has made a conscious decision that you do not want to become the best that you can become. I'm going to guess that every one of us have decided that we want to become the best that we can become. Now, when you decide that, then there's certain other decisions that come along with it. What are those elements that will make us the best that we can become? First of all is our health. We've got to become the best. You know, our wealth, our learning, our education, the way we spend activities, all of these other things may be decisions or choices, but the choices are what make the decisions happen. So true freedom is not measured so much by what is prohibited. It is measured by our choices that then lead us to who we can and will become. The ultimate choice of all. You also have the priceless blessing to choose worthy milestones along the path. And the most important, like I said, is to choose who you wish to become. But just know that every choice brings with it its own set of constraints, its own set of restrictions, and its own set of consequences, good and bad. There are no choices without consequences. If you desire to become a medical doctor, you immediately accept the constraints that will allow you to achieve that decision. What are some of the constraints? The hours that you'll work, the studying that you have to do, sacrifices to be away from home, to be away from family, yada, yada, yada. There's all kinds of constraints that are put onto you. Same thing when you decide that you want to improve your life. That doesn't matter whether you want to be an artist, a doctor, a teacher, a mother, father, whatever it is, a fireman, an attorney, all noble professions. It doesn't matter. You made the decision to do that. Then it's the choices. And you do it willingly because the greater the goal, the greater the sacrifice. The very act of making choices may require you setting aside other choices that you might have made. If I make the choice, if I make a decision, I'll be the healthiest I can be, and in that I make a choice to do an event like Rim to Rim, which I've made, I'm making choices on a daily basis that will support me and keep me alive so that I can go rim to rim and survive to do it again another day. And each choice that I make has consequences and sacrifices. It's called the currency of life. I call the currency of life tears. Tears stands for time, energy, attention, resources, and strengths. That's the currency of life. And so we spend those in the areas that support our worthy decisions. And those are the choices that we make that spend that currency. In order to become the person you want to become, you do it willingly because the greater the goal, the greater the sacrifice. Remember the following, okay? The very act of making choices require constraints, restrictions, etc. So first, time is short. If you want to become the person you want to become, start now. Don't procrastinate. Second, don't get discouraged. It's the big enemy. Don't get discouraged. Stay with it. Third, understand that when you choose a worthy goal or milestone, you freely and joyfully take the constraints that come along with that choice. They are not burdens. Accept them willingly and happily, for they are the path that leads you to the destination you desire. So here's my wish for all of us that will support ourselves. We're human. We go up and down. But if we understand that role between decisions and choices, we can become the very best that we're capable of becoming. Have a wonderful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.